For many, the confrontation, not one where fists fly immediately or where the only answer is overwhelming force. Instead, picture a scenario where the hero, facing an adversary driven by anger or ignorance, doesn't just disarm them, but disarms their very intention. She doesn't seek to dominate, but to guide. She offers a choice, a path towards something better. This is the often misunderstood essence of Wonder Woman and the Amazonian tradition that shaped her. For many, the very phrase "loving submission" sounds jarring, perhaps even problematic. It conjures images of weakness, of being controlled, of surrendering one's will to another. But within the Amazonian philosophy, and crucially, within the mind of Wonder Woman's creator, William Moulton Marston, it held a profound, radical meaning. It was, and remains, a core philosophical concept for Diana Prince, though its true depth is rarely explored. Let's unpack this. Loving submission, as understood by the Amazons and Marston, is not about becoming subservient to another person in a traditional sense. It is not about weakness, nor is it about forced obedience. Instead, it is a willing, conscious, and powerful surrender of one's ego to a loving authority, which, in this context, is ultimately the truth and the guiding principles of love and compassion themselves. Think of it as a voluntary alignment with what is good, what is just, and what leads to harmony. It is the wisdom to know when to yield, not out of fear, but out of enlightened understanding. William Moulton Marston, a psychologist and inventor of the lie detector, was a visionary deeply interested in human behavior and the dynamics of power. He believed that society's ills stemmed largely from a pervasive love for dominance, for control over others. He saw a future where peace could only be achieved if humanity embraced a different kind of strength, one rooted in affection and cooperation rather than brute force. For Marston, true strength wasn't about imposing your will, but about the ability to gracefully, lovingly, and consciously submit to a higher truth, to the shared good, and to the authority of universal love. He envisioned a world where individuals willingly chose to be guided by empathy and mutual respect, rather than ego and aggression. This, he believed, was the key to a truly peaceful and prosperous society, and he imbued Wonder Woman with this very philosophy. For Diana, the Amazonian princess, this concept is woven into the very fabric of her being. True strength, in her eyes, is found not in dominance or the ability to overpower, but in the profound capacity to listen, to truly learn, and to allow herself to be guided by love, compassion, and truth. When Wonder Woman confronts an adversary, her first instinct isn't always to fight. Often, it is to understand. She seeks to find the root of their anger or their misguided path. Her power comes not just from her physical prowess, but from her unwavering belief in the potential for good within everyone, and her willingness to extend an olive branch, even to those who seem irredeemable. This is precisely why she so often offers her enemies a chance to surrender. Not to her power, but to a better way, a more enlightened path. It's a radical philosophy of rehabilitation that stands in stark contrast to the punitive justice systems often seen in fiction and reality. For Diana, surrender means letting go of the ego that drives one to inflict harm, letting go of the anger or fear that clouds judgment, and willingly embracing a path guided by understanding and love. It's an invitation to internal transformation, to a personal revolution of the spirit. This radical approach lies at the very heart of her mission, to bring peace to man's world not through conquest, but through the gentle yet firm conviction that love and truth are the ultimate authorities. It asks us to reconsider what true power looks like. Is it the ability to crush your enemies, or the ability to inspire them to become something better? Is it rigid adherence to one's own will, or the profound humility to recognize and align with a greater loving truth? The Amazonian tradition of loving submission, as embodied by Wonder Woman, challenges us to look beyond superficial interpretations and find the true strength in vulnerability, in empathy, and in the courage to yield one's ego to the transformative power of love. So, the next time you see Wonder Woman, consider the quiet power behind her actions. Consider the philosophy that truly guides her. It's a message of peace through understanding, of strength through vulnerability, and of healing through an invitation to surrender not to another's will, but to the loving authority of truth itself. What are your thoughts on this unique and often misunderstood philosophy? How do you see it playing out in Wonder Woman stories, or even in our own world? We'd love to hear your perspectives in the comments below. If this discussion resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more explorations into the deeper meanings behind our favorite heroes.